Hello everyone, if you're watching this video around its release, then 1.20, the Tales and Trails update has just come out. And with it comes 99 new blocks, items, and mobs. Today, I'm welcoming you to the full release of 1.20, which, trust me, I'm definitely on. This isn't pre-recorded. So, let's get on with a world tour showcasing how to obtain all of these new features. We'll start with signs. So, in 1.20, signs have been revamped to allow you to edit text and write on both sides of the sign. When you're done, you can use honeycomb to prevent future edits. With these changes also comes a new type of sign, the hanging sign. This new sign hangs on the top or sides of blocks. The only main difference between the content of these two signs is that you can fit slightly less text on each line of the hanging sign. To craft the hanging sign, you need 2 chains and 6 of the same stripped log to get 6 hanging signs. It comes in variants of oak, birch, spruce, jungle, acacia, dark oak, mangrove, warped, crimson, and 2 new wood types we'll get to soon. Another new wood item is the Chiseled Bookshelf. What makes this block unique is that it can store books, unlike actual bookshelves. No, not real life actual bookshelves. No, crafting doesn't count. What I mean is you can place books, enchanted books, book and quills, and written books inside the Chiseled Bookshelf. A comparator will also detect which book slot was the last interacted with, and hoppers can add and remove books. To craft them, you just need any 6 wood planks and any 3 wood slabs. Now we get to a new tool, the brush. It brushes things, which does absolutely nothing. Next item. Okay, it's used in the new archaeology system to get items and junk, which we'll get more into later. The brush has the same durability as flint and steel and fishing rods. It can be enchanted with mending, unbreaking 3, and curse of vanishing, though I don't know why you would use that last one. This tool can be crafted with a stick, a copper ingot, and a feather. So copper finally gets another use. At least a single ingot does. Before I get ahead of myself, we've got a new head in the game. To accompany the new ability of note blocks to play the mob sounds of above mob heads, a new head was added into the game, the Piglin Head. And yes, it is as hard to obtain as the other non-wither skeleton skull heads, probably harder. You either have to get a charged creeper into the nether and get it to blow up a piglin, or you need to get a piglin to the overworld and blow it up with a charged creeper before it converts. A real race against time. What you won't be racing with is the new Camel, since all camels walk and run at the same speed, unlike horses. They can be ridden like a horse though, but up to 2 players can ride them. Also, instead of jumping, they have a dash that charges up. You can find camels in freshly generated desert villages where 1 spawns per village. If you find 2 of them, you can also breed them with a cactus. A block getting a new use this update is the Sculk sensor, with the addition of the Calibrated Sculk sensor. This new Sculk sensor has twice the radius, resets twice as fast, and you can filter for the frequency of the text by inputting the corresponding signal strength into the amethyst input side of the block. A very simple block that will definitely leave no amateur redstoners confused. This new block is just as easy to craft, just by silk touching a Sculk sensor, mining an amethyst cluster to get 3 amethyst shards, and crafting them together like this. Another item getting a new use this update is bamboo. Bamboo is known for growing fast, and fittingly, the number of blocks you can make from it has 2. It now has its own wood set, though it is a bit different from other wood sets. The log is crafted with 9 bamboo. Like other logs though, it can be stripped. You can use these stripped bamboo with chains for the bamboo hanging sign. Alternatively, you can turn either of these logs into planks, though unlike other wood sets, you only get 2 planks. Using these planks, you can make slabs, stairs, fences, fence gates, doors, trapdoors, pressure plates, buttons, signs, and or a raft. You can then turn this raft into a raft with chest. Additionally, using bamboo slabs, you can make the unique bamboo mosaic. This block can then be turned into its own set of slabs and stairs. Bamboo isn't the only new wood in this update. The community requested and long awaited Cherry Grove biome and Cherry Blossom Tree is here too, with the Cherry Wood set. Finding this biome may be difficult, but it generates in mountainous regions like the meadows. Once there, you can cut down a Cherry Blossom tree to get cherry logs. You can then craft them into cherry wood or cherry planks, or strip it into a stripped cherry log with an axe. You can use this stripped log with chains for the cherry hanging sign. The cherry wood can also be stripped into stripped cherry wood. The cherry plank can be turned into cherry slabs, stairs, fences, fence gates, doors, trapdoors, pressure plates, buttons, signs, and a boat. The cherry boat can then be crafted into a boat with chest. That's all you can make with the logs, but cherry trees have leaves as well, which you can collect with shears or silk touch, or you can let them decay or mine them with any other tool, preferably one with Fortune 3, to get cherry saplings. These can then be grown into new cherry trees to get more cherry logs. Around cherry blossom biomes, you'll also find pink petals, which you can collect with anything, and 4 can fit per block. If you want more, you can grow these items with bone meal. Now, we get to one of the biggest features of the update, smithing templates. These templates are used in the smithing table to upgrade or customize your armor with an additional material. The new customization for armor comes from armor trims, which can provide a colored pattern to your armor. The colors correspond to the material that you use: emerald, redstone, lapis lazuli, amethyst shards, nether quartz, netherite, diamond, gold, iron, and copper. It is important to know that unlike banner patterns, smithing templates are consumed upon being used, so you'll probably want to find multiple or duplicate them. The non-glitched way. There are 2 ways of obtaining a smithing template. Either find them in their corresponding structure, or if you already have a copy, you can duplicate it using 7 diamonds and the appropriate stone-like block. First, we have the Tide Armor Trim, which is found in ocean monuments and has a 20% chance of dropping when you kill any of the 3 Elder Guardians. This armor trim is unique as it is the only one that is dropped by a mob. The block for duplicating this armor trim is prismarine, and it can be duplicated like this. Now, most of the rest of these smithing templates are found in chests, aside from one structure. The first of these are desert temples, which contain the Dune armor trim with a 14.3% chance of exactly 2 generating per chest for each of the 4 desert temple chests. It can also be duplicated using a block of sandstone in this recipe. Next, we have the other temple, jungle temples, where the wild armor trim can be found with 2 generating in 33.3% of jungle temple chests, with 2 chests generating per jungle temple. The wild trim can be duplicated using mossy cobblestone in this recipe. In shipwrecks, the coast armor trim can be found with 2 generating in 16.7% of chests, with shipwrecks themselves having from 1 to 3 chests each. The coast armor trim can also be duplicated using cobblestone like this. Then there's the pillager outpost with a sentry armor trim, which can be found with 2 generating in 25% of each chest, though outposts only generate with a single chest. The block to duplicate it with is cobblestone again with this recipe. The other illager structure, the Woodland Mansion, contains the Vex armor trim, where 1 can be found in 50% of loot chests. These are only the chests with random loot though, not the empty ones in storage rooms or the ones that generate with set loot, such as the saplings, alliums, or axe. The block to duplicate this trim with is once again cobblestone. Over to the nether, we have the nether fortresses containing the rib armor trim in 6.7% of nether fortress chests, which are found within the internal halls of the fortress. This trim can be duplicated with netherrack in this recipe. Next, we have strongholds with the eye armor trim. Strongholds are a unique case because only 128 generate in total. Because of this, 100% of stronghold library chests will have one of this trim. So if you find a large library, you'll get 2 guaranteed eye armor trims. Additionally, each altar chest that you find throughout the stronghold hallways will have a 10% chance of containing it. If you want to duplicate this trim, you'll need endstone for this recipe. Going into the end, we can find end cities that have the Spire Armor trim within 6.7% of any of the end city chests. Not including ender chests, obviously. To duplicate this trim, a purple block is needed in this recipe. Now we get to the last two structures, with both having two smithing templates. First up are the ancient cities. Here, the ward armor trim can be found in 5% of all the loot chests, which are found outside the center structure. They can be duplicated using cobbled deep slate. Additionally, ancient cities contain the silence armor trim, but is only found in 1.2% of all loot chests, making it the rarest armor trim. Like the ward trim, this one is duplicated with cobbled deep slate as well. Finally, we get to bastions. Here, the snout armor trim can be found in 8.3% of any bastion chest. It is duplicated using blackstone in this recipe. The second template found in bastions is actually the netherite upgrade smithing template. This smithing template is not used to give fancy armor trims. Instead, it is the new way to upgrade diamond armor, tools, and weapons into netherite with a netherite ingot, of course. It is found in 100% of bastion treasure chests. These chests are surrounded by gold and near the magma cube spawner in treasure bastions. In all other bastion chests, they can be found 10% of the time. Like other smithing templates, these can also be duplicated in the same recipe, with a special block being netherrack. There are 4 more armor trim smithing templates, though you won't find them in chests. These can all be found in the new structure, the Trail Ruins. This structure generates mostly underground, with a small chimney sticking up, so you'll have to watch out for it and carefully dig down and around. It only generates in jungles, old growth birch forests, this is the one with the tall birch trees, and all 4 variants of the taiga biome. The taiga biome itself, snowy taiga, and old growth pine taiga, and old growth spruce taiga. Here, the Wayfinder, Shaper, Host, and Razor armor trims all generate and are part of the new archaeology mechanic. They can be found by using a brush on suspicious gravel with 8.3% of rare suspicious gravel containing one of these trims. To duplicate any of these trims, you just need regular terracotta in the standard recipe. What is rare suspicious gravel though? Well, it's exactly like regular suspicious gravel, but contains all the treasure items and is rarer. I don't really know why it exists like this. This is the only archaeology structure to contain a rare variant of a suspicious block. Yes, I did say suspicious block. There's 2 of these for archaeology, suspicious sand and suspicious gravel. Quick disclaimer though, these blocks will only generate in archaeology sites that are newly generated in 1.20. You will not find them in structures that were generated before the update. Now, using a brush on either turns it into a regular sand or gravel block and gives you the item inside. If they fall, or you break them with some other tool, then they are destroyed along with the item inside. So, how are these blocks supposed to be obtained in survival? Well, unfortunately they're not. But I'm going to show you how to get them anyway. First, get soul sand and some water buckets, then partially brush the suspicious block to see if the loot is worth recovering. If it's just junk, dig until you find the first block unaffected by gravity. Place your soul sand with water on top, mine the block, and watch the gravity blocks bounce around. A few seconds later, and the suspicious sand or gravel will have turned into an item for you to keep. Unfortunately, the item inside will be lost, so that's why you have to make sure it's just junk first. And there you have it, a way to obtain the suspicious blocks in survival. I'm not responsible if this is patched in a future version, use at your own risk. Let's get back to the intended mechanics of archaeology. There are other treasures in the new Trail Ruin structure. Here, using your brush, you can also find a new music disc, Relic, in 8.3% of rare suspicious gravel. Across all archaeology sites, you'll also be able to find pottery shards. These are used to create the new decorated pots. You can use any 4 pottery shards or bricks to make these. For each side you use a shard, a pattern will appear, while the sides with bricks will be blank. In the Trail Ruin structure, you'll be able to find 7 such pottery shards: Burn, Danger, Friend, Heart, Heartbreak, Howl, and Sheaf. All are found in 8.3% of rare suspicious gravel. Moving on, we have desert wells. Yes, those desert wells. They finally have a use. 1.20 desert wells contain 2 pottery shards, Arms Up and Brewer. Both are found in 25% of suspicious sand, 2 of which generates underneath the water in the well in 2 separate layers. Over to desert temples, there's a new buried room that generates. Here, you can find 4 pottery shards, Archer, Miner, Prize, and Skull. Each can be found in 12.5% of suspicious sand. The last 2 archaeology sites are both found underwater. First, there's the Cold Ocean Ruins, which have 4 pottery shards. You'll find them in suspicious gravel, in and underneath the small structures, and around the outside pillars of the large structure. The pottery shards here are Blade, Explorer, Mourner, and Plenty, each found in 6.7% of suspicious gravel. Finally, there's the Warm Ocean Ruins with 3 pottery shards. You'll find them in suspicious sand, in and underneath the various structures, where up to 5 can generate per structure. The 3 pottery shards are Angler, Shelter, and Snort, which are found in 6.7% of suspicious sand. Something else you'll find in Warm Ocean Ruins are Sniffer eggs. You can bring these to the surface to hatch, and they'll hatch twice as fast on moss blocks. When they hatch, a baby sniffer will pop out. When it grows up, it'll occasionally sniff out torchflower seeds, which can be used to breed the sniffer to get more sniffer eggs. You can also plant the torchflower seeds on farmland to grow the torchflower, a new decorative flower. Sniffers also sniff out pitcher pods. They cannot be used to breed sniffers, but you can place them on farmland to grow the 2-block tall pitcher plant. And that was how to obtain all 99 new mobs, blocks, and items in 1.20, the Tales and Trails update. I hope this guide has been useful. I've been The Last Wanderer. Thanks for watching, and have fun with the new update. Bye for now.